Now,
Thanks,
some
Richard.
more big news from around the league as we bring in Zach and Perk. According to our Tim MacMahon, the Rockets and John Wall have agreed to search for a trade partner. Wall will report to training camp, but according to MacMahon, he will not suit up for any of the games as both sides mutually agreed on a bench role would not be best for him. So, Perk, what is your reaction to this?
Well, I already knew this was going to happen. I knew this when they drafted Jalen Green and watching him in Summer League, watching him throughout the G League. And when you look at their young core with him and Kevin Porter Jr., both of these guys are young stars in the making. And I was like, where's John Wall going to fit in? Because those two guys both could play the point or the two. They could make plays for each other. And the direction that Houston is going in, they rebuilding. You got Christian Woods as well, who is young. So looking at John Wall, a guy who bounced back off of Achilles injury last year, who averaged 20 and 7, who showed flashes of the old John Wall last season, I know he wouldn't be down with the rebuilding stage. So if I'm John Wall, I'm doing the same thing. I'm trying to go somewhere where I can win, where I can at least have a chance to compete for a title. The problem is that he's making a whole lot of lettuce, but it's a lot of teams. There's 3 teams out there that I think should really try to pursue John Wall. And that's the 76ers, that's the Clippers, and that's the Pelicans.
Well, look, what do rebuilding teams not like to do? Give up draft picks. And I think that's the issue the Rockets are going to face because, as Perk said, John Wall, by the way, still a solid player. I thought his comeback last year was a nice story. But he's owed $100 million almost over the next 2 seasons. To find a home for that contract, for that player, is going to be really hard, even though he is still a solid player. The big albatross contracts around the league have either been bought out, like Blake Griffin, for instance, or are on teams that don't really need John Wall or would need to be incentivized to take John Wall. I think Houston's in a tough spot here. Of the teams Perk just mentioned, what's up, Perk? Long time no see, by the way. Of the teams Perk just mentioned, Clippers, yeah, they could cobble together a bunch of picks, a bunch of players to get John Wall. I'm not really sure it makes any sense for them. The one that he mentioned, though, is the Thunder, just because they have $1 million in gazillion dollars in cap room. They're like a point guard rehabilitation farm system at this point. They might be realistic. Sixers, I don't really see it. It's just going to be tough for Houston to find a home for him.
Well, and this is the thing about John Wall, is that he can still play. Is he worth $48 million? Probably not. But I don't think anybody on this panel would disagree that John Wall can help you win games. And that's also a tough spot when you bring in a player that you know can win games, but you're also trying to develop young talent. And that extra 5 to 7 wins can also drop you from maybe the number 3 pick to the number 8 pick. And that's not what you want to do when you're rebuilding.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.